Hi, I'm Liz Rice from Aqua Security, and today I wanted to show a little demo of why it's important to make sure that when you build a container image, you build in all of the code that you're going to want to execute at build time. Then you can scan it using a vulnerability scanner. I'm going to be using Trivy. And the point is, once you've scanned it and you've said it's okay to run, you don't want to be adding any additional software, any additional executable code into that image or into the running containers. In other words, you want to treat those containers as immutable. So let me start by showing you something that's a really bad idea. So I have a Dockerfile here that starts with an Ubuntu base image. It adds a script, makes that script executable, and then it sets up the command as what's going to be run by default when we run this container image. So what's inside that script? So this is a script that's going to use apt to install. It's going to start by installing wget, and then it's going to install a very old version of bash. That's not going to get executed until this command gets executed, and that happens not during the build but at runtime. So if I build if I build this image, so I'm going to tag it as image drift bad. Let's just make sure I don't have any caches from earlier. Okay, so that doesn't take very long. And now if I scan this image, it's just going to download the vulnerability database. Hopefully this won't take very long. Hopefully my internet connection is up to the task. And then we're going to find no vulnerabilities because there's no code in this image that we've built that other than the base image, which is safe. So what if I now run this image? This image drift, we called it bad. And this is where it's doing its apt update. It's going to just take a few seconds to run. And it's unpacking this old version of bash that I asked it to install. So if I do a docker ps, just looking for that image, because I didn't delete it, it's exited, but the image still exists on my system, and I can, let's just run that again, and I can save that using the commit message. So this is the identifier of the running container, and I'm going to call that image drift run. And now if I use Trivy to scan that version of the image, we're going to find some bad things. In particular, this version of bash that I installed has high severity vulnerabilities. In fact, this is shell shock that I'm using here just for example purposes. Now, because I didn't add that in until I ran the container, if I scan the image that we built, we wouldn't know that this was going to be a problem because we don't know what that script's going to install. So make sure that when you're building your container images, install all of the code that you're going to want to run into the image at build time, and then when you scan it, you're scanning all the code that's going to get executed in that container. Don't be tempted to install or update software inside a running container because the scanner won't have had a chance to look at that software and check for vulnerabilities. I hope you found that interesting. and follow our YouTube channel for more.